the amount of positive news coming into the XRP ecosystem is increasing. It's increasing massively. But does that actually mean the price is about to follow the same road? I doubt that. Yes, it's positive. Yes, it's massively positive to watch all of this coming and going on to the direction which we really want to go through. But keep in mind, the price action usually does not follow that. Historically, what we have seen is something different. There's a lot of good news coming into the market, and what happens, a lot of new people jump into the market, and at that time, keep in mind the manipulation is at the high. If you believe that the price action is about to give you a massive rally now, maybe you're up for a surprise. Yes, we do see that the price action is slowing down, but we do see that it's closing into a support range. So if we get a double bottom here, we are going to bounce. But before that, the level of manipulation which we will watch here is going to be critical. Yes, it's going to bounce, and that bounce is going to be huge. Why am I pointing towards that? Entire crypto market, if you focus on assets correctly, you do see some of these assets are up 60% for the week. Some of them are up 35% for the day. As you move on, you see a lot of these different assets. 100% up, another one, 40%, 50% up for the week. So you're watching money rolling inside the crypto market. It was in XRP, but once we went up, people took profits. Now it's coming back in. But during that time, you'll watch accumulative movements on a short-term horizon, and that's what we are watching here. We would like to enter. If you are trading, make sure you enter that asset when it's showing you a reversal signal, at least on a daily or a 12-hour chart. Right now, we are waiting for the confirmation. We did get the last candle bullish. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family. With the normal retail guys, learn how to become the next top 10% of this world. We were following all these assets before they actually popped. We were following them through because we knew that these kind of movements does happen in the market. So you just follow the structure and see if there is some room to the upside, and that 30%, that 50%, whatever it is, and you like that, great, you can take that trade. But yes, you need to know in which assets money is entering. You need to see the volume, the breakouts, the patterns, and everything for yourself, and then make sure when it reaches your target, you take profit. If not, someone else will take that. Now, inside the market, we are watching a lot of this. We are up. As soon as I see things like this, I'm actually posting everything in the group. So if you are in there, make sure you don't miss those and understand. Don't leverage. If you do, keep it low and understand where your risk level is. That's how you actually make profit. Now, jumping into XRP, yes, we need to keep this in mind that the news and the narrative is bullish. It's increasingly bullish to see things like this, but at one point in time, we do have to do our own checks. Say when you actually see news like this, yeah, they then correct it at a later point. We had this coming out and initially saying Bank of Australia has partnered with Ripple to use XRP. Great. But what happens? Later they had to correct it. Similar structure. We have actually seen recent stories where people were saying this is breaking, this is new. But if you have been in the ecosystem for some time, you already knew like, okay, these are news which others are portraying it as new. But when you go back to the originals, you actually find it that's back in 2018, that's back in 2017, that's 5 years old. All those comes into the picture, and that's where I was getting confused because some of them were actually saying this is just confirmed, it's new, and I was like, just confirmed and ex-current, because these were actually old. If I'm missing something where people are saying all the old structure ex-current, X-Rapid, XYI, it's coming back, and then yeah, maybe it's breaking. But for me, I don't actually think that's breaking. But yes, it's informational for those guys who are new to the market, who really don't know how the XRP ecosystem is working, right? That's informational. But always make sure you understand what the news is and whether it's true or not. If not, you may FOMO in at a time where you shouldn't have been doing that. Now, why do I say that? If you actually go into the price action side of things, you can use different charts. This one is Heikin-Ashi. That suggests you on a daily, we're still on the red territory. We haven't turned green yet. But yes, we have hope. What's it? You look at the MACD. Whenever we are coming down and we are crossing back to the upside, the price move up. Let it be during that time back in March or the next one in June, July. We had this similar structure and the MACD was about to cross to the upside. We got the price moving up. So we get these follow through and each time it's getting bigger. Great. That means upside is coming. But when does that actually happen? First time you usually get rejected. Sometimes even the second time you get rejected and you cross to the upside on the third one. That's where the manipulative movements in the market by the whales. They're selling 50 million, 100 million XRPs, doing all this crazy stuff. So what we as retail has to do is to try and see what they are doing. If they want us to believe that the price action is about to go up, there is something wrong. We need to actually see on the other direction to look for the macro. Yes, if you take a step back, you go on a weekly, this is what you're watching, which is actually perfect. A weekly candle closed, which actually suggests to you that bulls are trying to enter back into this asset and you are literally watching an inverted hammer pattern, which is bullish. So now, to get a confirmation, you need to see the price going above at least 50% of the last weekly candle, say somewhere around 0.67, 0.68. If the price action can reach this week or the next week, now we can say, yeah, that's over. We are about to run higher. Why is that? When you go on a daily, zooming in, you want to see how things are evolving. Last pump here, which we had from the 0.6 range towards 0.66, now it's like 5-6 candles working out to erase those gains, but it's not working out for the base. Remember, back in the day when you actually saw things like this, let it be on a 3-day, let it be on a weekly, any horizon, we actually understood the fact that, yeah, bears are struggling, which means bulls are doubling down. And that gives us the perfect understanding, whether that's on a weekly, whether that's on a monthly, we get to see that. So if you actually look at, this particular candle here, that was one bullish month. What happens after that? You actually get 3 months bearish, but still that 1 month of bulls are not erased, which means the bears were really weak. What happens afterwards? You start to trend higher. From that 0.3 range, you go all the way up to 0.9. That means you really did a decent ROI structure after that reversal signal. Now, this is the exact same thing we're watching on the daily. Yes, it's a microstructure. Yes, we are watching how the resistance is playing out. Yes, it's short-term pattern trend lines we are watching. Great. But unless we break through this, that's not getting erased. So what's important here? Need to keep an eye on this candle. This showed us that we are getting buys. This showed us the price went down to 0.6, or the sellers pushed the price down, but the buyers came in and pushed the price back up, and it closed around 0.61. Great. That means for us, this range becomes critical. If the price action come back down to that range and buyers follow through that and push the price back up, that means that zone is now attracting a lot of buyers. That's bullish. But now remember one thing. If you actually look for the momentum, it's not there. It's not there. We're still in red. If you want to look at this asset as a trade, now things are different. If you are an investor, what you're looking at is you're looking for the monthly. Yeah, you are completely bullish. Unless you won't actually do all these bullish months here. You won't actually get that. And when you usually get these kind of structure on a monthly chart, keep this in mind. Something big is incoming. Whether it's a consolidative movement here, which still end up in green, you will see a boom candle coming in. And that usually happens. So what you need to keep in mind is if the price action is trying to show you a lot of different things, noise, try to reduce the noise and see what the macro is like. And if the macro is showing you it is going through bullish month after month after month, there is something you need to notice. Now, the monthly is showing you the upside. However, the weekly is showing you the downside. So which one is it going to be, right? You zoom in, you slowly go into a daily, and you want to see the daily turning green again before we break 0.6. Because if we do break, now sellers are doubling down. They are like, okay, we do have the ability to push the buyers out. If not, buyers are thinking the same and sellers are like, no, buyers are doubling down, so sellers have to move out. So watch how the market evolves, because on the same time, you're watching these assets popping 200% for the month, which means they are being attracted by a lot of different investors. They are now looking into these assets. The volume is slowly increasing in these areas. You're watching how things are evolving. If you watch for the breakout, say now it's already at the resistance. That run up is over. If you get a breakout, retest, and a bounce, that's where you double down. What do I mean? Say you actually go into these assets and you look for something. What is that? Say if you actually get to see a breakout, say here you had something like this, you did break to the upside, you retest that and you bounced. When you bounce and break that resistance, that's where you kind of get the confirmation, okay, that short-term move, it's heading higher. And after that, you get a big candle. Now, back then, we didn't get the SEC news, we didn't have that volume, all of that's true, and that's why the price action was slow. However, now things are changing. If you go in the market, look for the last 1 week, you have a lot of different assets doing 40-50% for the week, which is not bad. Then you go into the small caps, the medium caps, the small cap, the micro. You actually see a lot of these other assets are about to do that. So if you actually miss these, let's actually rewind them. Go through these assets which have already popped and learn from them. Why did those structure happen? And if you understand that, now you're spotting all these other coins which are about to run higher. Maybe 5x, maybe 10x, and we've been following at least 5 to 10 assets which are showing us the probability that they may actually do a 5, 10, 15x in coming 3 months, 5 months time. Now that doesn't mean you're going ultra leverage with your entire portfolio into those, because it's a trading scenario. You need to know your risk tolerance. Otherwise, things may go wild. So if they come back to XRP, monthly, it's still macro bullish. Weekly, it's actually showing you that bulls are trying to enter, but usually what we have seen in the market is that these whales, they'll manipulate as much as possible. This range is going to be really important. They may actually push the price a little bit down and then break higher. So even if the next week ends up bullish, we do see a possibility they may push it to the downside first, flush a lot of short-term traders and then go back up. That still is a probability. So if you're trading this particular asset, make sure you understand that scenario. If you're a buyer, if you are looking at this asset as a net buyer, now that's of interest for you. If the price actually drops to 0.58 and you want to buy it lower because your average is above 0.58, that's a good opportunity for you. So guys, if you are watching for opportunities like this at the right time before they break out to gain what the market is giving you, you can look at the Patreon. The link is given in the description below. And if you receive value, please do smash that like button. I'll meet you guys on the next video. Bye for now.